What is up, you guys? Welcome to my lash suite. But in this video we're going to talk about how you can get a lash suite, pretty much what my experience was, just some things you kind of need to know because I was not prepared. Okay, I was not freaking prepared. And I say that because I didn't know what kind of paperwork I was gonna need. I didn't know like what they were gonna ask me. I didn't know if they were gonna run my credit. I didn't know, like, I just knew I needed a place to lash and have my clients go to. I wanted to get out of my house. I wanted something a little more professional. That's what I knew, and I knew that there was another girl who was a lash artist in my area who worked out of this building. So I knew that, okay, there's a good chance that I can get in this building too, but let's talk about it. Okay, so excuse the noise. They're working on stuff in my building, so it may get a little loud. But the first thing you want to do is search for a space. So you can go, my favorite website I use, and this is how I found my space, is rootnet.com, and you can sometimes filter it to the amount based on the square footage to see how much the monthly rent is, or sometimes it'll just say negotiable. The other thing that is really helpful, and I see it now without even looking, is when you drive around, if you're going to get something to eat or you're just driving to Target or whatever, you may see like for rent or for lease signs. So definitely keep your eye out for that, because a lot of companies like Coldwell, I don't know, we have Sitar over here, like they always are leasing commercial spaces. So when you drive past plazas, you probably will see a for rent or for lease sign with a phone number, or you may see like the company's name on that lease sign. So you can just go on their website and try to Google them and then try to find out more information that way. So you have to decide, do you want to be in a building? Do you want a storefront? Or there are like commercial based homes, like, you know, there's businesses that basically their business looks like a house, but it's commercially zoned. So you have to decide what kind of space you want, and then look at what's out there, and then you get to see like what are the rent prices in your area and compare it to other towns, how far you're willing to be from your house, you know. So just basically get a feel for what's available, what's out there, and what the price range is. So then you have a realistic mindset of what type of rent you're willing to pay, because you never want to just say, oh, I only want to pay X amount in rent, but you haven't done any market research to see what rent is actually going for right now. So for me, when I got my lease space, there was a girl who was already in this building, and I had saw it based on like her Instagram. She did lashes as well, so I already wanted to look into this building. I didn't really find a lot of other options to look, to be completely transparent, and there were none that was in this price point. So I just went and called up the management company that manages this building, and then worked it all out, and that's how I ended up in this space. So now we're on the next step. You found a place that you're interested in. You want to call the landlord or the number on that for rent or for lease sign, or the management company, whatever number that's provided for you to contact. You want to give them a call. Now I was super nervous. I had my fiance, we did a three-way call. I had him on a call because he's in sales, he knows how to negotiate and all that stuff. So I wanted him to jump in and help your girl out, okay, negotiating my rent. So you want to call the management company or the landlord, whoever is managing that property, and you basically want to find out a few things. What space do they have available? How many square footage is it? Because a lot of the times, like, they may have multiple spaces within a plaza or within a building available. Like, there were like 3 different spots open when I came here, and I chose this one. So they're going to tell you what different spots they have open and how big the space is. So you want to have an idea of how big you want your space to be. Like, so mine is, I want to say, I think it's 450 square feet, but with me just in here and I have a lobby space, is big enough for me. The other thing you want to find out is how much is the rent going to be. You want to find out what the security deposit is. You want to find out the lease terms. So how long do they want you to be in the lease? How long is the lease terms? Some landlords may be flexible, some may not. So I got a 2-year lease. You may find somebody that's willing to do a 1-year lease, or you have to do a 5-year lease, or some places do 10, like it's a long lease. So you need to know what the lease terms are. They can also, because I also got sent over a copy of the lease So I got to look at it and everything and read it before you sign. Always read everything before you sign. You want to know like the payment structure, like how do you submit your payments for your rent and stuff like that. If anything shall to go wrong, do you get reimbursed, or like damages? Do they require insurance for your space? Any other things they require for you to operate in that space? Because for instance, the other thing that I was going to mention, you are going to need a zoning permit and a certificate of occupancy, but that is stuff that the super he made sure to go over with me and the management company. So I had to have those things before I even moved in. That was like $50 to $100 for those two things. And you have to check that. You go through, like I had to go through the town that my office is in. So I had to file that paperwork with the town, but they were here to help me and, you know, give me a phone number who to contact and stuff like that. So definitely ask all the questions as far as what is the required paperwork that you need to occupy this space as a business, and then also, you know, your lease agreements. Another thing I forgot to mention, so when you talk to the management company or the super, you want to also ask, are renovations included? You know, for me, I was able to negotiate them giving me floors, these vinyl floors, because this was all carpet. It was not like this. They also installed this window for me. So basically when you come into the lobby, so when you are in the lobby, you can literally look out into where I'm going to be working at. That was my fiance's idea, which was great. They gave me a door here, so they made this whole wall. This whole wall was not here, so they made a wall, gave me an extra door, which was cool, and they did the floors, and then they painted the walls for me. So you want to ask, like, do they offer any type of renovation that you can work into your lease? So yeah, I mean, if I would have took the space as it was with the carpet and a bunch of furniture in here, it was a mess, I would have gotten a cheaper price. But just to bump it up $150 a month, they did all of this work for me. I didn't have to do anything. So definitely talk about renovations and stuff like that. Okay, so what are some of the questions they're going to ask you when you call them? So basically they're gonna say, all right, what type of business do you have? What's your business name? They had asked me, you know, I told them I do eyelash extensions, and they let me know that there was other people in this building that does the same type of thing. Would I be okay with that? Which I was, you know, didn't change my money or anything like that. So they're gonna ask you what type of business you have, if you have like an LLC or whatever, like what type of business is it? LLC, sole proprietor, corporation, and you're gonna have to fill that out like in your paperwork anyway. Then they also may run your credit. They also may do a credit check. This building had to do that for me as well. So ask that question if they're gonna check your credit or not. So that could definitely come up. Now, once you've spoken to the management company, you know what they require, you know all the documents you'll need as far as like permits, certificate of occupancy, anything else that your town may require. You kind of got all those questions out of the way. Now it's time to sign your lease. And if you want to get a lawyer, somebody to look over it, definitely suggest doing that. But it's time to sign your lease, and then you have your move-in dates, which is a very, very exciting day. I remember when I signed my lease, this place was not even renovated yet. It was a mess, but you know, I saw the vision, and when it was done, it looked so nice. So it's definitely going to be a really, really exciting day. And you move your stuff in, and then you start your business. You know, you figure out how you want to market yourself, or if you already have clients, now they got a new place to go. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then you just make sure you pay your security deposit should already be paid, your first month's rent, and then you just make sure you pay your rent on time. Okay, my building here, they have an online site. You go and pay your rent. It's super easy. So make sure you got your keys, all the keys you need, because we have a bathroom key here as well. So make sure you got your keys and stuff, and you good to go. Okay, it was, I would have to say, for me, somebody who had no prior experience getting a commercial office space lease, it was fairly simple for me to do, and the people here made it pretty easy for me to do. So I definitely didn't miss any steps. So I definitely feel like as long as you put yourself out there and you ask a lot of questions, you know, like, people are going to be there to help you out to make sure you have what you need legally to occupy that space, because the landlord is going to want to collect the rent. Like, they're not going to want you to get into problems and have to get kicked out. So overall, I didn't really have any issues with obtaining this space. It just took a little while for the renovation, so I had to wait on that because there was other people before me moving in that got renovations too, so that was the only thing. I had to wait a little bit. I'm telling you, like, when you get your own space and you move from like doing your service in your house to a space, like, it's the best feeling. Like, it really is, because now you're like, yeah, like, I'm 100% legit, like, you know, nobody can talk nothing about my business. I'm not just an at-home kind of stylist or a lash artist or whatever. Like, no, okay, no. All right, like, you have leveled up. No offense to anybody doing it at the house, because I've done that, but it's just like, you know, you stepped up, you've elevated. Okay, you have elevated. All right, you've elevated, because not everybody goes out there and takes a risk like this and get a space and then, you know, actually be profitable and be able to handle it all. So I am grateful for you guys that voted for me to do this video topic. I hope it helped you. You can definitely ask questions. I'm not 100% an expert, but I'm just telling you how I did it. So I will see you guys in the next one.